1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
Coach Erik Kimrey, head coach, Baylor School in Chattanooga. Also, played for some guy named Lou Holtz at South Carolina. Coach, thanks for jumping in with us, man. We appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much for having me.
And you and I was talking to you, when we gave you a call before we put you on hold, about your iconic Lou Holtz impersonation. Like you said, it's making the rounds today, isn't it?
It sure is. All of us are, definitely going to have heavy hearts, but we're also celebrating our great coach, and a lot of that with former players and coaches is telling Coach Holtz stories, and there's a lot of them.
Well, let me ask this really quick before we get into your time with him. You've been obviously massively successful as a head coach, whether it was at Hammond, at the Baylor School right now in Chattanooga. You're on the staff here at South Carolina. How much of what you learned from Lou Holtz do you carry with you today? And sometimes you might even repeat them and then walk away going, oh, my God, I'm sounding just like Coach Holtz.
Oh, yeah, a lot. You learned a lot of lessons. I think early in my career, when you're in your younger days and you're in your early 20s, you kind of think you know everything, and you're like, maybe I wouldn't do that, or maybe my, style is a little different than Coach's. But the older I've gotten, the more his lessons and the stories he taught and the way he coached, they resonate with you, and you start to, appreciate the guy and all that he poured into you, and a lot of his genius as a coach.
Erik Kimrey with us talking about his time with Lou Holtz at South Carolina. We are obviously honoring Lou Holtz, who passed away yesterday at the age of 89. All right, first time you met Lou Holtz, tell us the story.
Well, the first time he spoke to me, I was on the field throwing some very bad passes, and he walked up to me and he said, "Hey, Erik, you want to run 40 yards for nothing?" And I said, well, no, sir. And he said, well, then don't overthrow the damn receiver. So that was my introduction to him. But, no, I'll never forget the first meeting we had when he came in and was introduced as our head coach. And he walked in the room, and he immediately commanded everyone to sit up and look him in the eye. And we kind of all knew right then and there that there was something about this guy and that things at South Carolina were getting ready to change for a positive way.
LaNorris speaking to the media. And, look, last year it just didn't work for LaNorris. It didn't work for the offense. A variety of reasons. Not all on LaNorris. Some, sure goes on LaNorris. But the system of offense, the philosophy of offense, the play calling, a lot of the things on the offensive side of the ball, there was never a rhythm last year. There was never a comfort level for it seemed like anybody. And so no one's saying you give zero blame to LaNorris Sellers. I mean, everybody takes accountability. When you struggle in anything that bad, everybody gets a piece of blame. They just do. How much? Well, again, that's just like, subjective, but everybody gets their share of, I could have done this better, I could have done that better, or I could have handled this better or that better, or whatever the case. I mean, but the whole season we talked about an offense that just from a schmo watching it on TV, it's like, this offense just doesn't look right. And again, you're going, why don't they do this? Why don't they do that? Well, I don't understand. And it just, the offense, it did not click at all last year. And LaNorris Sellers, talking to the media yesterday, let's get a first cut in here from LaNorris discussing the message he got from Kendall Briles regarding last season.
It's just what he's always known, so he pretty much brought his own system. He did different stuff. He's at a different school with different personnel and all that, so it's a mixture of everything. But he was more of just take last year, learn from it. We're not really going to dwell on it. We're just going to try to get better and move forward.